My wife bought me the Abus Airbreaker helmet for our anniversary. Let's take a look at it. My wife is awesome. Hi, it's John and welcome to Cycling on a Shoestring. Today we're going to do a review on the Abus Airbreaker helmet. Now, if you follow my channel, you may have seen this helmet in a couple of different iterations. I did a video a short time ago called I bought a $350 helmet for 35 bucks, maybe. And that was a fake helmet, fake Abus Airbreaker that looks a lot like this from AliExpress. So check out that video in the description below. And then when my wife bought me this helmet, I thought, why not put this one up against the fake and see how they're different? So check that out as well. There are some significant differences between the fake one and this one. I'll put the link in the description below so you can watch that video as well. Now, the first thing you're thinking is, John, you've got a channel called Cycling on a Shoestring, which implies cycling on a shoestring budget. And I do low cost reviews here or good value reviews. You might pay a little bit more, but good value is always a good thing. This is an expensive helmet. At a local shop, this helmet comes in at $349 Canadian, and that's a lot to pay for a helmet. And my wife was with me when I tried this helmet on, and she knew I liked it and wanted me to buy it, but I could not buy this helmet. Too much money, way too much money. I was looking to pay as much as maybe 200 bucks to get the helmet I wanted with the features I wanted. And I found one from Giro, but it had didn't have a feature that is in this helmet. And I'll tell you about that in just a couple of minutes. Now, she did buy this one, but didn't pay $349.99 for it. She went to a website, which I'd never heard of before, called Bikeinn, BIKEINN.com. And they sell all kinds of cycling gear all the way around the world. This helmet actually came from Spain, and she paid $229 Canadian for it, okay? She did expedite the delivery and had to pay some duties, but it still came in less than $349.99 at a local retail shop. If you were just paying for regular shipping, you'd probably save yourself about 100 bucks on this helmet. So you might want to check that website out. So she probably paid about $250 for this helmet as an anniversary gift. So again, my wife is awesome, and I'm really looking forward to riding with this helmet later today. It's never been ridden before. Now, it has some fantastic features on it. Just taking a look at it, I think it's a strikingly good looking helmet. I love black and red. It's my color scheme. Love it. And they've got this in dozens of different colors. At the Bikeinn website, I think they've got 19 different versions, and you could pay up to about $250, $270, depending on the color you get. But this one, I think, was about $229. If you look at the top of it, you can see this grill that's up here. Now, according to the Abus website, this provides you with a little extra aerodynamics. But as you can see, it's got massive vents in it, which is supposed to focus that air over the top of your head. So I'm looking forward later to putting this helmet on and allowing the wind to blow through my hair, if you know what I mean. Okay. It's an incredibly light helmet. I've had light helmets before, but this thing really takes the cake. As a matter of fact, I think if it weighed any less, the helmet would not exist. It's that light. So let me weigh it, and we'll tell you how much this helmet weighs. It's a medium size, and it weighs 210 grams. So it's incredibly light, and that's what they state at the Abus website, 210 grams for a medium helmet. It's got a really nice retention system in it, almost spidery, the look of the retention system. Here's some photos I took of it a little bit earlier on. And as you can see, it really extends low beyond the bottom of the helmet here, okay? So when you put it on, it really comes down far in the neck here. And I told my wife when I put this on for the very first time that if you tighten the retention system on there and you have extended all the way down the back of your neck, this helmet, even if you were to take the straps off, wouldn't come off. So it is on your head, but it's very comfortable, incredibly comfortable. Now, I know people have different head shapes, and I've always thought that I had more of an oval-shaped head. Round helmets, for me, sort of provide pressure points in the front and back, which I don't like. This one definitely feels like an oval-shaped helmet to me because I don't feel those pressure points when I've got it on. Now, an important part of buying a helmet is making sure it looks good on and it feels good on your head. So make sure you try it out before you buy it. But I would say if you've got more of an oval head like I do, this helmet is probably going to be perfect for what you want. The straps on here, as you can see, there is no adjustment on the straps, which is a bit of a knock I've read in some of the reviews on this, but I don't find it to be an issue. If you put the helmet on, you'll notice that the straps stay nice and flat against your face and they go below your ears perfectly on the side. And you don't have those plastic clips there that can, cause some irritation. You just don't feel that on this helmet. It's incredibly comfortable from that standpoint. It does have some additional adjustment in the front up here as the retention system comes across here. There is an extra little spot there where you can move the retention system into 3 different holes to provide a little bit more adjustment if you want to try it out. Now it's set up in the middle hole for me right now. I'm going to leave it right where it is, and I think it'll be just fine. Plenty of padding in this. There's quite a bit of padding. The last helmet I had virtually no padding. There's enough padding in there that it's going to provide you with more comfort on the top of your head and at the front. If you're sweating, I think this front piece around here will collect some of that sweat. Now, the downfall of this helmet, if you're looking for the ultimate protection, there is no Mips on this helmet. Multi-directional impact protection system, which is the thing you see in most of the higher end helmets today. There is none in this helmet. It does not have that, which I think adds to the fact that this thing is very light. You put in that Mips system, it adds a significant amount of grams to the helmet itself. But overall, it's a really nice looking helmet. Now here's something that wasn't in a Giro helmet I was interested in buying, and I want to show this to you because I was in a shop recently looking at a Giro helmet. It was the Giro Syntax, and it was about 180 bucks. And I had my glasses with me, and I said, does it have a place for my glasses in the helmet? And it didn't, and I didn't buy the helmet. So Giro lost a purchase from me. This has to be part of the helmet. Has to. I have to have this as soon as I get off my bike. First thing I do is stick my glasses in there. And let me see if I can do this. There's also a part in the back where if you're riding along, if you want to keep your glasses out of the wind, your glasses go on the back of your helmet as well. So an added feature that is absolutely imperative for me when I'm buying a helmet. It has to have a port to put my sunglasses in. So it's a really nice helmet. It's very light. It's comfortable. But of course, it's got to feel good on the road, and I'm looking something that will keep me cool when I'm out there. So let's take it for a ride, and we'll wrap up this review of the Abus Airbreaker on cycling on a shoestring. Been out riding with the Airbreaker for about 30 minutes. So just to give you my initial thoughts on this helmet. First off, it's light as a feather, so you hardly feel it on your head. Second, it gulps in the air. It's fascinating. I'm riding sort of with the sun to my back right now. And when you're riding with your shadow in front of you, you can see right through the helmet because of the vents. And the other thing I've noticed about it so far is that I think this helmet cools the back of my head better than any helmet I've had. It kind of directs the air over the top of your head and gives you a full cool back there. I don't have a lot of hair, but I can feel it going through my very short hair at the back of my head. So far so good. I'm on about a 60 to 70K ride today, and it's getting hot out here. Good day to test out this light, airy helmet from Abus. Back from my ride, testing out the Abus Airbreaker, and just my thoughts. So on a very hot day, it's gone up about 6 or 7 degrees since I went out riding about 2 hours and 20 minutes ago. About a 65K ride today. Got a wicked headwind coming back, and all that air went right through this helmet. I'll tell you,
It is light, it's airy, it's a very comfortable helmet. Now, something I noticed about it when I first put it on, it's a little different than helmets I've had in the past. I think this helmet sits a little lower on my head, particularly up here above the brow, which I think is a good thing from a standpoint of safety. Gives you a little more coverage, maybe a little closer to the ears as well. When I first got on it, it felt a little odd to me, and the reason is the retention in the inside at the front is a little lower on my head. So when I first started riding with it, I thought, this is kind of an odd feeling. But then I became accustomed to it. And the other thing that's up at the front of this helmet is you've got some padding up there, and recent helmets hasn't had any padding at all. So I got over that. I didn't think about that much after about the first 20 minutes during the ride. It's a very light helmet. You almost have to wonder how this thing could keep you safe, because it only weighs 210 grams. And I guess you could say about helmets, there are things we wear that we don't want to use, if you get my drift. I hope I never have to use this helmet and try to stay safe with it on, but I do feel safe with this helmet. Some other things I was thinking about while riding on a day where it's just hit 28. It's supposed to hit 31 Celsius here today. But this is kind of an odd thing to think about, but if you're somebody who rides in cooler temperatures, this will not be the helmet for you. It's not going to keep heat in. You're definitely going to need a cycling cap or a beanie or some type of hat underneath this helmet to stay warm if you're going out on cooler days, which I'm going to be doing as well. Another thing I was thinking about, and this is kind of inside baseball for people who've been riding a long time, it's a pretty good scratch your head helmet. There's lots of places where you can reach through and scratch your head, so that's kind of a nice thing. Although that screen at the top of the helmet does kind of get in the way, it is a good scratch your head helmet, which comes in handy on those long rides. Overall, fantastic helmet. The one thing that really kind of stands in the way of this helmet is the fact that it hasn't got Mips in it. So when it comes to that extra protection, if you're looking for that, this helmet does not have it. You're going to just have to stay clear. Now, this may sound kind of weird, but when it comes to helmets, safety isn't the number one thing on my mind. And I know that does sound kind of odd, but I'm always considering that the helmets I'm buying are made to keep me safe. I always think about the way they look, the way they feel, the comfort of the helmet, how much air gets through them, how heavy they are. Those things are important, and the fact I can put my glasses in here is a big, big plus for me. Plus, this thing is safe. But it does not have Mips. I have a feeling that a later iteration of this helmet, maybe in upcoming years, Avis might put it in, because if you read reviews on this helmet, it's the one thing they point out. For a top-end helmet, it hasn't got that Mips system in it to keep you safe. Overall, fantastic helmet, but it is cost prohibitive. It's a very expensive helmet. And I know that Avis has a lot of lower-end helmets that look really cool as well. One's called an Aventor that looks really nice, so you might want to check those out. But find something that feels good, looks good, and keeps you safe. This one certainly is a great helmet. I highly recommend it if you can afford it. Thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. I did a 65K ride today. I'll put the ride with GPS and Strava down below in the description. Also, make sure you follow me on Instagram, on Twitter. Please give me a thumbs up on the channel. Subscribe as well. Also, make sure you ring that bell for notifications. See you next time on Cycling on a Shoestring.